Hi there, I'm Vicki Parfano from Aussie Stampers. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a sweet little project using a lavender bag and this card here, and I'm going to show you how I put this together. I've stamped the envelope to match, and I have a little bag full of lavender, which is just, oh, I wish you could smell this, but it does smell beautiful. It has a little tag on it which says, "Thank goodness for a friend like you." And I'm going to show you how easy it was to put all that together. So the stamp set I used is called Touches of Texture, and I use this image here. It's not actually lavender, but you know, it's pretty, and I used lavender coloured ink and stamped it onto my muslin bag. Now you can find these muslin bags generally in a hot dollar store or Lincraft or somewhere like that. This is a Stampin' Up bag, but they're retired, so they don't have these anymore. I'm using Wisteria Wonder paper, and I'm going to first of all create the little tag. So in order to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is punch the tag using this tag topper, and I've cut my paper to just a hair short of 2 inches wide, so it will fit in there perfectly. Push it all the way up, punch, and how fast is that for creating a tag? Now I'm going to stamp that in Elegant Eggplant ink, and that comes out beautifully on the Wisteria Wonder paper because it's slightly darker, but it's still in the same colour family. I'm stamping the image from So Many Shells, and it's this image here which says, "Thank goodness for a friend like you." I've rounded the corners, I've stamped it, and I've added this little flower here. Now to do that, I just got some very vanilla cardstock which matches the vanilla colour of the muslin bag. This is a retired punch. It's just a small flower punch, so any small punch you had that you wanted to put on there would be fine. Now I want to attach it so it's really smooth. If I was to pop this up and it's going to go into somebody's linen cupboard or their lingerie drawer or what have you, I don't want something that's going to fall off. So the best adhesive for this is a fine tip glue pen, and I found some of these at the local dollar store. Now I don't trust that the glue is going to hold on there, so I have a purple one here, and all I'm going to do is add a fine tip glue onto the back of that just for extra insurance that it's not going to come off. So I'm going to pop that on the center. That's going to be my embellishment to go on my card. And I'm going to fill my bag, well, before I fill it, I'm going to stamp it with a darker ink. Now I've used this colour paper, which is Wisteria Wonder. If I was to stamp on this, it would come up looking very pale, so I want really quite a dark colour for that. So I'm using the Elegant Eggplant again, and I'm going to stamp this image here onto the bag. Now I'm going to fill my bag with some lavender. Now you can purchase this at Lincraft or Spotlight or any of those places, and it's not very expensive. And fill up your bag about this full. You want it fairly full, or it smells really nice. And then pull the drawstring, and what I like to do to ensure that it won't come loose is to actually wind that around the front and tie another knot. Now I've used some pale Nouveau drops in a beautiful wisteria colour for the centres of my flowers that I've stamped on there. I've stamped them on the back as well, but I've left those plain because this is going to be the front of my bag. All that's needed to do now is to attach the tag. So to do that, that's pretty simple. I'm just going to attach it this way, tie it in a knot, and there's your lavender bag done. Now what I would like to do next is create the card that goes with it. So this is the card and the envelope that I want to create to go with it. I'll show you how I did that. You're going to start off with embossing your card front, which I've done. So I've run that through the embosser, and I've put some stamping on the inside. I couldn't have picked a better friend than you. What a nice sentiment that is. And then I'm going to lay up on a crumb cake square a piece of Whisper White, which has Thanks a Bunch printed on it. And then I'm going, before I attach it to the base, I'm going to add one of these doilies. Now they're white on one side, but I love this cream. I think this cream's really pretty. It just gives an extra element. So I'm going to lay it about here, and adhere my card like this using some Tombow multi-adhesive. Now once you're happy with how that looks, you can bring in your die cut pieces. And I'm just going to punch out those last little pieces with my pokey tool. Now before I attach it, what I'd like to do is to create this effect here of a bunch of flowers that have been tied with twine. So I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to cut myself quite a long piece of that because I want to wrap it around quite a few times. And how I wrap it, I want to leave room for the bow, so I'm going to leave about that much on one end and just wrap it round and round as many times as I like. And this is actually going to strengthen that die cut too, make it really strong. And then when you've got it exactly where you want it, you can tie that off and tie a nice bow. And I like to leave long tails on this so it looks like something that you might actually see at the florist. It looks like a real bunch of flowers. So I'm keeping the loops smallish, keeping the tails long. I'm going to trim them down to about there. I can make them longer than the stems, in fact, because I want it to look really cool. And I'm going to attach this with a dimensional. Let's pop that on with a dimensional. And now I'm going to bring in some flowers that are wisteria. Here's the flowers, what they're going to look like. And I've punched those out with a die cut. Well, really rolled them out, I guess, through the big shot is the way to say. And I have 3 of the larger and I have 2 of the smaller flowers, and I've made these in Wisteria Wonder, and I'm just going to adhere them with some fine tip glue to my... And I've laid the top piece on with a dimensional as well, so I have dimensional under here. I'll just show you that. I put a dimensional under there, and I've laid this top floral piece on with a dimensional. The rest are adhered straight to the card front. And there's the card done, and all I need to do now is to just stamp the design onto the envelope. So I'm going to stamp my envelope with some Wisteria Wonder. And there's the finished project. So you have a lovely little set of lavender goodies, including a really sweet little bag of lavender, ready to give as a gift with a lavender coloured card and envelope to match. I really hope you enjoyed today's project. I enjoy making these sorts of things where I can give a gift that is useful as well. So this smells absolutely divine, and it's going to be beautiful in somebody's linen cupboard or in their lingerie drawer. And you can stamp on muslin very, very simply. It's just exactly the same as stamping on paper. Couldn't be easier. I hope you enjoyed it today. If you did, don't forget to click on that bell, subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and comment below if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.